Well, after a 2-week hiatus, the Metro Cup is back. Round 9 action as we start to get towards the pointy end of the season and teams making their final march towards the finals. Good evening, Scott McAllister and Kai Leggett with you for tonight's fixtures. Our opening match in the Women's Premier will be the Country Club Colts taking on the University of Queensland Rebels. Let's take a look at the live ladder. Coming into round 9, 2 rounds to go. The UQ Rebels sitting on at top of the tables, 4 wins, 2 draws and a loss to their name. For the Country Club Colts, it's been a tough season for them, sitting in 4th position at the moment. Only the 1 win, a couple of draws and 4 losses. So a must-win game for them tonight. They still are a mathematical chance of making the top 3 final system if Brothers have a loss tonight. So a massive match on the hands. Let's have a look at the team list for tonight's fixture as well, starting with the Country Club Colts. And familiar team, they haven't had too many changes coming in and out throughout the season. And their coach is Sebi Ray. For the UQ Rebels, again, led by their captain, Sammy Joe Curtis, vice-captains Rebecca Maimai, Mara Thomas as well. They've got another strong lineup tonight, and they are looking to continue on. Kai, big match tonight between these two teams.
Yeah, it's a very big match here for the Colts. I think obviously only having that 1 win on the board out of the 7 games that they've played is a bit tough to look at, but I'm sure they'll come out tonight and have a really good game. At the end of the day, it is needed to get into the finals series, but they always come out and always give their best against what will be a strong opposition.
Yeah, for the Brothers, they're coming off a 4-all draw. For the Colts, they're coming up off a 4-all draw against Brothers in the last round before we went into the break. These two teams came up against each other in round 2. It's the Rebels getting the victory there, 7 tries to 4. But the last time these two teams played in round 6, it was a 4-all draw. So they'll be taking some confidence from that. As you can see, the UQ Rebels lineup for tonight. Another strong team. A couple of players as well making their way back into the lineup after recently competing at the National Youth Championships up on the Sunshine Coast. They'll be looking to continue on. All schools last weekend as well, so plenty of football happening recently up here in Queensland. We'll take a look at tonight's key player matchup as well. And for the Country Club Colts, Courtney Trenery, and for the University of Queensland Rebels, Sammy Joe Curtis, 2 really influential players in both these two teams. Kai?
Yeah, I think it's obviously coming into this game, it definitely needs to be watched with Sammy Joe Curtis as well. She's going to be leading the team from the front there. But that's obviously not to say that anything could happen in a touch game, as we very well know, Scotty, especially after their 6-all draw last time they played. So, look, they're both strike players, both leaders. You'd expect them to come out red-hot firing.
The Rebels' form, although they sit comfortably on top of the table, it's been a little bit up and down over the last 2 rounds prior to hitting that break. They had a 6-all draw against Brothers as well, and that was in round 5. And they actually had a 4-6 loss against the Southern Storm prior to the break there in round 8. So they'll be looking to restart their campaign and make a strong run towards the final. Men's Premier action to follow. Our women's game tonight, Gold Coast taking on the Colts. Looking forward to that, and that's 1st versus 3rd in the men's competition. But a huge match here between the Colts and the Rebels, 2 traditional rivals. Both teams have found their way to the pointy end of the competition over the last few years, have met each other in numerous grand finals. And, of course, the Southern Storm, they're making quite a run in this year's competition. Last year's grand finalists, and like we said, they knocked off the University of Queensland Rebels in the last round before the break. Colts to tap, opening possession. The kick-starters here, must-win game for the Colts. Season on the line. Can they keep their dream alive for this year's Metro Cup? Rolfe plays it, Sargent sweeping. They're in trouble here, the Rebels early, unfortunately. Just behind Courtney Trenery, who we made mention of in tonight's key player matchup, but positive signs there from the tap-off from the Colts.
Absolutely positive signs. It was a very good set in. It was obviously just a bit unfortunate the pass was behind the back there. Obviously finishing off these early tries will become key towards the end of the game.
Nice ball movement early here from the Rebels. 5th and final touches, Files picks it up, ball in one hand, just tries to stretch away. Good recovery. In the end, they make the touch around that 7-metre line, but they went the distance there, the Rebels.
Very good exit out of their own half as well. You should expect to see that obviously the whole game, but very interesting to see this obviously sending 3 up early doors as well. It's obviously stopped their roll a little bit too.
Colts now making their way over the halfway line, doing the hard yards in this set. Malla from half, that has no option. Sargent was looking for a little breather, as was a majority of the Colts team. Nothing available there for Katie Malla on the final touch of the set. The Rebels now starting their set of 6 here in pretty good field position. Already rolling over the halfway line as Fildes plays it. She heads over for a breather. They have to scramble to get acting half in place. Rasmussen coming out of the interchange area, now skipping her way through. They just make the touch. Ooh, second there, I thought she'd slip through the Colts defence.
I did too.
So good set from the Rebels, but they finish about the same position as their previous. Country Club putting himself under a little bit of pressure in the early touches. Replacement players onto the field. Larkin. Last touch. Sargent looking for offside players, doesn't get it.
It's a much better set coming out of their line there, I think compared to their last set. It was a lot cleaner and a lot easier to roll out of. Look for a big defensive set here.
My from half. Links up with Hagan, who comes back in field. Just Runny yet again. Bryce looking to sweep around the back. Colts defence just holding the Rebels back momentarily, but they get an opportunity to kick out. Here's fifth and final for them now. And the short side they go. Well covered there from Country Club. They start their set yet again on the 7 metre line. The Rebels, they're winning the territory battle early on in this game. Now, and that's just forcing the Colts to throw their hand. They push the pass and they come up with the mistake.
The first attacking set of the game here, apart from the tap-off, and obviously be very interesting to see how they go about this with some new subs coming on.
As Henny makes her way on the field, just dances around, gives the opportunity for the replacement players to make their way back out onto the park as Curtis plays it. Andreasen now forced to come outside of the 7. Picks it back up now. No options back on the inside. Fifth and final touch. Good job so far here from the Colts. Curtis through the hand. Out to Fildes. You still don't want to go to sleep on her here. They come up and make the touch. They're still holding on the Colts. The Rebels are up with ball in hand at the moment. Sargent now having to do the hard work. Back to Mallet, no touch yet. Out the back they go. Inside ball and just snatching at it there. Talia Rolfe, they just looked a bit disjointed when they were getting replacement players coming onto the field.
Yeah, just the small little 1% of mistakes there. Unfortunately, obviously a couple of turnovers now have been on halfway, which has led to the Rebels coming into their line with a little bit more steam than they would have liked.
Rebels back on the attack. Hagan picks up a short back on the inside to Bryce. Nice inside cover defence. Making the touch. They could see the play unfolding.
It's good scrambling defence so far. It's still 0-0. Obviously, there's a lot of game to go left in the first half, but so far so good.
Really having to work for metres here, Country Club, and that's the result of it. Forcing mistakes. The Rebels, they've been great. Without the ball, their defence has been super strong to start with. Really putting pressure on the Colts coming out of their end of the field. Bryce, early ball. Forces a Rebel to come back. And having to do a lot of work defensively on their line, Country Club, but they've managed to do a pretty good job so far. As Bryce glides across the field, links up with Hagan, last touch. And they managed to hold out yet again. They need a strong set. Country Club. Nice work from Adams. She'll always get the Colts going forward. Another hit up for her here.
That's
just
better.
Kicks out, gets away from defence. And they needed that. As Sankey comes back inside. Larkin, nice drive in. Early ball from Sankey. Sargent on the run. Takes it right to the defensive line.
I think they still had one touch left there. That was only fourth, from unless I can't count, which is
Highly likely.
Which is possible, absolutely. But I think there's a little bit of a head rush there, having one touch up the sleeve. Definitely could have been 1-0.
Now it's an opportunity for the Colts to try and put a little bit of pressure on and keep the Rebels down this end of the field, but nice ball movement from UQ. Gets them out of trouble. Last touch. And well numbered. They come up to make the touch. As My comes up, she's ever so strong in her defence, just held up, got the body right underneath the ball. Here she is coming across and making another touch. Larkin having to go back to the mark all of a sudden, and Colts are under pressure yet again. Rolfe should get them going forward. Last touch. Nice ball movement on the back end of it. Trenery hands the ball back over to the Rebels. Tough ball to take. UQ will start their set on their own 10-metre line. This is better from the Colts coming up out of the line. Hudson putting some pressure on in defence. As My skips away. Comes into half. Blade plays it. Contact there on the touch as well. Last. My beautiful ball over the top. Good defence coming in. That's a lovely ball.
Right where you want it. Fortunately, just had the defender in front of her there, but it was very good defence from the Colts as well to hold them off on what was a very strong attacking set.
Ball movement. Trenery did a good job to hold on to the footy. They're going to say ball down. It took a big deflection off one of the Rebels players.
Geez, that's controversial.
I think Caitlin Blade is actually, she's put her hand up here and just let the referees know. And I think it was just an unfortunate position there for the referees. They'd made a change. Usually you get a little bit of assistance from your sideline in those type of scenarios. But great sportsmanship there. It's one of the best elements of our sport. Nice work from Caitlin Blade to let the referees know. She definitely got her hands on the ball and played at that.
Absolutely. When you got you got 24 other players screaming at you in the game, and sometimes it's hard to wear that pink shirt and control the game as best as you can. But these guys are the best in the Queensland.
Nice work, good set off the back end of the restart. They went the full distance there. Good defence from the Rebels as well. The Sargent attacked the line on the 5th touch. Malla comes up to make the touch. This forces the Rebels to make replacements around their 10-metre line. My straighten up the point of attack. Links back up with Hagan, who just kicked away from the half, and that just stifled their attack momentarily. Loose ball comes off the back.
No.
Well, they continue to play on here. Well, this is really interesting. A ball out of their hands comes off the back of one of the Colts players, falls into the hands of the Rebels, and they go across and score the first try. That's unbelievable.
God, that's about the most unfortunate thing I think I've seen. To rebound off the back of a defender there and sit right in the Lynx pocket. It's
just kicked away.
Probably couldn't do that twice.
Yeah, let's have a look at the replay here. They were in all sorts of trouble. Bang off the back of the shoulder. No touch made. Well, they continue to play on here. Well, this confused us of what happened. I must have said this is going to be a perfect angle back here. Yeah, bang straight off the back of Chloe Tunks.
No.
Well, they continue to play on here. Well, they really had to fight to try and get their first try, but I didn't think that was the way that they were going to score their first. So 1-0 Rebels. Took them a little while to get their first points on the board, and a fortunate one for them. They get their first try. Rolfe now dancing around. Can they hit back? Back on the inside. Good cover defence back on the inside.
Gets the penalty there. It was a very good attacking sweep there. Fresh set on the line. See if they can come up with a touchdown.
Sankey from half. They look to go short side. They're short of the line. The Rebels might have had an opportunity just to keep punching away into the line. Probably a foot or two short before the ball was thrown. Still touches to work with. Ellum gets a flat ball from Rolfe. She had a super impressive tournament at the National Youth Championships. Kate Ellum, player of the final. Here she is, looking to inject herself into this game. Steps, beautiful ball over the top. Colts hit back, and they needed that. Kiralee Costello scores there first, and we're locked up at once. Final.
Probably one of the better right to left balls you think you'll see tonight. That comes off for Counties.
Beautiful ball over the top.
Mountain of space out there to walk through.
The impressive part was when she had ball in hand, she was looking to her right-hand shoulder. Quick little look over the left and just ripped. Absolutely on the money. So 1-1. It's important round 9 women's premier fixture. Rebels from the restart. Hagen Files on the sweep. Comes back on the inside. Ashurst. They get a little deflection. And a full set of 6 to work with. Oh, it almost looked like Hagen got the ball down before the touch was made. They will get a penalty. So the call is actually, because she was within the 7-metre zone, they pulled out before that contact was made. So you can't actually pull out within that 7-metre zone. Good refereeing and officiating. Zoe Jenrick on field. She's assisted by Lachlan Freshwater and Jordan Randall tonight. Big dive coming in at the line. They get across just to make the touch. And I think it might be Rani who's pulled up a little bit ginger after that attack on the try line.
That is unfortunate. That was a really good attacking set, that one. Up here, it looked like she had it down. But it's, as I said, I'm glad they're wearing a pink shirt and not me.
So just getting a little bit of attention. The country club players over there assisting as well. There's Hagen, who will head out the back. We'll have to keep an eye on that. One of their absolute strike players. Again, coming off the back of a very good National Year Championship. She was a teammate of Kate Ellum last week, or 2 weeks ago now, as we see Mai get into the in-goal area, and they finally make contact of it. And a teammate of Ellum's tonight, opposition, well, at the NYC, opposition teams tonight. Sargent here on the first touch. Straight and hard. Nice ball movement. Larkin had to reach for it. Sends a beautiful ball. Mallard down the sideline. Comes back inside
Wheels.
to Larkin. Good footy from the Colts. They get replacement players on. Still touches to come. Zell back in field to Tunks.
Big set, this.
Sankey and putting the ball through the hand. Costello goes on the outside. Comfortably touched in the end. Nice ball movement straight away here from the Colts. Positive football from them. Adams from half. Goes Izell short.
That's down.
They're going to point to the spot. You can only imagine they might have been short of the line there, the Rebels. And the Colts, they go back to back. And they take the lead in this game.
It's just a classic case of momentum, really, Scotty, coming out of their own end, getting down to the opposing team's 10 with, 3 touches, 4 touches up their sleeve, and it was nearly a shorter score at the end of that with the amount of momentum they had.
So it actually looked like Mai there didn't make the touch, and the defender there was short of the line back on the inside. So great work from the referees yet again. And the Colts go up now by 2-1. Rebels looking to hit back. Curtis directing traffic here in the midfield. Andreasen takes him on from a long way out. Would have been just a bit short of the line, and now
again
he's a bit ginger getting up. Now tricky conditions for the players out there tonight. A little bit dusty, particularly around the 7-metre zone.
Yes, I'm not sure if you can see it at home, but on that 7-metre line towards the car park is mostly dirt. So they'd be very, very lucky to find a bit of grass there, and it's very tough playing conditions, but these guys are doing very, very well at the moment.
Here's Trenery. Gets him back in towards the middle of the field. There's Hudson. Might not have known that the last touch was coming up. Ooh, a little fumble here.
Scrum.
Straight onto the football. Space out here on the left-hand side. Trenery. She's lightning quick. Good experience, so just holds things up. Now looks to kick out. Goes short side again. Early ball. Nice recovery. Harris. She plays it. Rolf through the hands. There's space out there for Costello. Takes him on the outside.
Very good
touch is made. Good football again. They're seeing space on the edges here, the Colts, and they're not afraid to chance their hand. Hudson working with Rolf. As Talia takes him on back inside to Georgia Hudson. And I think the final pass back on the inside was forward and signalled from Lockie Freshwater. They've definitely come out of their shell once they're getting good field position and they're getting down and having an opportunity to attack. But all of a sudden, the Rebels, they're right on the back foot here.
That's that momentum we're talking about here. That last set they scored on, they went from one end of the field to the
Yes.
other. And now they've had 2 drop balls and the ball in their end of the field. And now they've got, 2 defensive sets to come.
Here's Ellen skipping away from the first couple of defenders. She's going to head over for a breather. Larkin will burn a couple of touches. Sargent makes her way out onto the field. Chloe Sawtell tunks out in the left link position as well. Sargent, early ball. Larkin back inside of Sargent. The defence in the middle. Still some touches to work with here for Country Club. Sawtell out across field. Might have been looking for a little pop out there. Last touch. Tunks comes right foot. Switches back in. They have a little snatch at it. Not much to work with there on the last touch.
2.5 minutes to go here. Need a big finish from the Rebels here after what could have been a lot better sets coming out of their half here, and they're already nearly at halfway on 2.
Murphy feeds it from half, and he's back out on the field, which is good to see. After taking a little bit of a knock, still Folds. Goes to Andres, and beautiful ball to Hagen. I was just about to say, waiting to see whether Hagen would make her way back out onto the field. She gets herself into the right link position, and she's Johnny on the spot. Rolls over and levels up the scores.
It's nearly exactly the set of 6 you want after getting 2-1. Perfect reply there, short side. Very good ball out of half as well. Just to draw that link in, and then just gives a nice little easy ball with the winger all the way out. That's back to 2-2.
Good response from the Rebels after fighting a mountain of pressure from the Colts. Here's Trenery. Back on the inside, Sankey. Opportunity for the Colts here to strike before the halftime break. Trenery dancing around, looks to kick out yet again.
Down.
Shows it. No one there back on the inside. They just get across to make the touch. Well, had spiders on it.
That scramble.
Definitely held off there. Courtney almost getting across. Adams feeds it from half. Izell, last touch. Yeah, just lost the count. Unfortunate for Country Club. But again, always creating opportunities. Big defensive set needed for them here. Under 60 seconds to go before the break. Nice work from Izell in the midfield. Coming up and putting pressure on. Forces the Rebels to go away from their interchange side of the field.
And get a penalty for it too.
Here we go. Again, great defensive pressure. 30 seconds on the clock. Huge opportunity here for the Colts. They go into the break, up by 1. It's been a seesawing battle here in the first 20 minutes between these two teams.
Very, very good so far. Very good competitive touch footy.
Hudson, is it Ellum who can break them yet again? She set up a try here in the first half. Now it's unfortunate, but the contact there, you can see Kate Ellum just taking a little bit of a spill, but it was the contact there in the previous play. The ball, Hooter sounds in the background. They'll have one final play. Ellum dances away, does get away from one lot of defence. Sends it over to Courtney Trenery and off the fingertips. Both teams can't be separated at the halftime break. 2-2. It's highly entertaining between these two teams.
Very, very good half of footy, that one. There's a definite change of momentum with around 10 minutes to go. And I think Country Club just found a second win there, which is always obviously good to find coming into the back end of the first half. And it sets you up at the end of the day for the second half as well. It gives you that confidence where you can come in and play that free touch footy like they do.
Big second half here for both teams, locked up at 2 tries apiece. Country Club Colts, season's on the line. Can they get it done? We'll take a quick break and be back with the second half action very shortly.
This grass looks smart, and it's tough enough to handle whatever you throw at it, so it stays looking smart. Tip Tough Hybrid Bermuda, the smart grass.
When you're heading
Welcome back to the Metro Cup. We're at the halftime break here in the round 9 fixture between the University of Queensland Rebels and the Country Club Colts, locked up at 2 tries apiece. And what was it was a pretty up and down first 20 minutes, wasn't it, Kai? After a strong start from the tap off there from the Colts, they really found themselves under a lot of pressure from the Rebels, but they worked their way back into the game with good field position and did a good job to level up the scores going into the break.
I think you could say for the first bit of that first half, it was all UQ. There was a lot of field possession. There was a lot of placement down towards the try line at the car park there, but it just something seemed to change. Something seemed to flick in the Country Club Colts, and it turned around and put 2 quick tries on, and really changed the way the game ended up towards the back end of that first half.
Yeah, and like we've been mentioned, the Colts, they are desperate for a win tonight. There's still a mathematical chance of making a late run into the finals. They need to win tonight. They need brothers to lose. They've got to win next week as well. For the Rebels, if they win tonight, they've pretty much guaranteed themselves a grand final spot. So it's a big match for both two teams in the context of this season. So big second 20 minutes coming up. You can see the Rebels on screen. Last minute instructions. One of the key players there, Marama Thomas, as well in the civvies tonight, not booting up. So it's a big out for UQ. Our match to follow, Gold Coast taking on the Country Club Colts. Looking forward to that one. That's first versus third on the table, but a couple of big outs for the Colts tonight.
There are, yes, a couple of big outs for our boys tonight. I believe the Moffats are in Japan.
Half your luck.
So, I mean, it's the night to take Country Club Colts on, but I think two very, very strong teams again, and I think you'll see a very good game coming up after this.
Second half underway. Jordan Randall blows the whistle. Rebels first possession here in the second 20. Both teams will be looking to come out of the gate strongly. Curtis and Hinarangi, Andreasen, what a deadly combination they have. And you've got Lucia as well, just holding position. Now they just get caught out, and as I say that, it looked like they were well covered. It was just looked like Sammy Joe was just a step behind, but it forced her to play out the back, and they open up for her. She won't get too many easier ones than that.
Well, you can't start a half better than that, I don't think, straight off the rip. It's always very good to come onto the field and score one straight away, and it was just a very, very easy draw and pass, and nearly one of the easiest tries you can score.
Yeah, it just looked like there was 2 Colts players there, and they almost overcommitted. You could see deep in the in-goal area. Sammy Joe just had to catch that one. Oh, strong contact, but it might have just been a little bit incidental. And Grace Izell is down on the deck. Might have got one just up around the throat, which could be a little bit uncomfortable. Yeah, might be grasping at the shoulder. Yeah, collarbone, I think you're right, Kai. She's pretty tough. She'll be back out there, I think. Don't worry about that. So they restart on the Rebels' 10-metre line. As Elam plays it, Sargent didn't get too many opportunities in the first 20. Here she goes, picks up from half, can't get away. Comfortably come across and make the touch. It's Demi Ashurst. He comes up and takes the first touch forward. Folds across field. Familiar ball in one hand, bright orange boots on tonight. My holds it up and just shreds it late at the end. Forward pass.
It's good defence there to hold it up enough and create a mistake, and it gives the Colts the ball on the halfway line into what could be a very well-needed touchdown.
Here's Elam, Country Club going forward. Changes onto the park. That's Costello, one of the try scorers in the first half for the Colts. Rolf has a bit of a look up. Links up with Sankey. Space out here in the right. Malla just has a couple of snatches at the footy. Was out in front of her. Rebels will restart on their 7-metre line. Work to do to get across the other side of the field if they want to make changes as set. With solid contact on the first touch from Sankey. The Rebels now put the ball through the hands. My rolls them down the sideline. Nice little feed out the back from Ashurst. And a set here from the Rebels. It's Sammy Joe. This is the first touch. This is the final of the set. It's falling apart for them. No, this is the last touch now. Drasen picks up. Oh, might have been an opportunity to go short. Ball hits the deck. The Colts straight back onto the footy.
Pleading the case there, I think, for didn't play at it. Oh, God, I fell for that dummy. But it was very, very, very good so far coming out of their own half, creating a little bit more space for the ball to run.
Doing the hard yards is set. Here's the Colts, but they're doing a pretty good job. Sargent skips on the outside. Should be looking to turn it back infield, and does. Hudson feeds it to Trenery. Good ball movement. They picked up an extra 10 metres there by throwing the footy around off the back of Sargent. Oh, she's picked the wrong player off. Nobody at home. They're not going to get there in time. Streaking away. Rebels back-to-back tries. And an intercept. That's a little bit heartbreaking there for the Colts.
It's a good ball. Hit the wrong person, unfortunately. Obviously picked up on the right way and just drew everyone across. And unfortunately, just found the hands of the wrong person. And I don't think anybody was going to catch her.
Just a little bit of extra mayo on that. And you could see they were completely unmarked. Unfortunate swings the other way around. And there's Kate Hammond, the try scorer, running downfield for the Rebels. Back-to-back tries to start the second half, and all of a sudden the Rebels skip away to a 2-try lead. The Colts need to hit back here. Adams, this time rips out in front, and again, there was a bit of space. They say ball down, and we see another player down on the deck.
That looked like that hurt.
Yeah, grimacing from up here. There might be a bit of skin off some of the girls tonight. Doing the hard yards. A couple of players getting some knocks. As Lucia goes forward, nice little feed out the back to Murphy. Bryce will flat back up on the inside, fifth and final. Here's Tiani skipping across field. Nice little switch back on. But ball hits the deck.
First 5 minutes has been all UQ so far. It looks like they've come out of the first half and just found an extra gear. It's been a bit of a struggle for Country Club to keep up with them at the moment, but there's anyone's game left. There's still 14 minutes.
It feels like the pace of the game's just gone up, just that little notch. Like you said, they're definitely taking it up a gear, but the Colts are matching it with them. Although they've leaked 2 tries, the intensity of the game is definitely just kick-started here in the second half. Oh, it's a good option for short side. Sankey out in front. They're creating opportunities, although it looked like the defence was sliding across in cover there from the Rebels. The ball's just not quite sticking for them at the moment.
It's a bit unfortunate. Yeah, they are creating chances, and as you can say with that intercept, if it goes a foot higher, there's a try, but it's just one of those things. Touch is one of those games where the momentum swings very quickly and it's very hard to keep up.
Curtis on the switch. Ashurst from half. Picks up, has a little bit of a skip. They've got 3-on-2 out here on the right-hand side. Costello this time, they say 6 to go as well. It's hard to see from here whether there was any hands on it, but Curley just probably getting her body into the position there to shut that final pass down. Full set of 6. Bryce off the right foot. Nice defence back in the middle for Country Club.
Still 4 touches left here.
That's a big defensive set for the Colts. He is directing traffic. Here she goes from half. Holds it up, gets into the in-goal area. A little pump and out
Great
the back
ball
to Tiani. Oh, good footy. Inarangi just had a look up at the line. They held off her, and all of a sudden, just that little show and go and her speed punched it straight through to the in-goal, and good positioning there from Tiani around the back.
It's just a very good setup there. They get everyone out of position, and it's have a look at that. The length does the right job in drawing everyone in, and the middle sweeps around the back, gets away from the Colts defender, and it puts them in a position where they're now 3 ahead, and with 12 minutes to go, it's very hard sometimes to claw those 3 touchdowns away back.
Yeah, 3 unanswered tries here in the second half. The Rebels, Colts have to score next. Sargent is up with Hudson. Elmore sliding in on the knees at the line, trying to throw it back on the inside. Ooh, a couple of players getting tangled up. Sargent down on the deck. She pops back up to her feet now.
That's a good ball.
Rebels do a good job under pressure. They throw the footy and look at the meters off the back of it. 15 metres downfield they go. Here's Rasmussen playing it in the midfield for the Rebels. Tony from half has a look up. Footwork. Can't get anything there. Might have just gone over on the ankle. Penalty here to the Colts. Going to come back to the mark here. Looking to get underway, Country Club.
I thought she was injured for a second there and just sort of couldn't give the ball away, but he's given a penalty for delaying time, so the more you know.
Yeah, there you go. Mella up to the 10. Trenery, his fast feet, trying to get away from the Rebels' defence. It is the final touch. As Courtney tries to slip in between two defenders. Rebels will restart their set in the midfield here on their 7. Play nice and direct here on the first 3 touches. Now they're a little bit isolated. Ashurst has to go back to Sammy Joe. They're holding the football up. As Rasmussen comes in from half. Oh, takes an unfortunate deflection. That really hurts.
It's a gut buster, that one.
They did such a good job. They really stifled the Rebels' attack and just sticking the hand out there. Courtney Trenery, I don't think she intentionally really wanted to play at the footy. Just deflected off the hands. Before you know it, another repeat set. And a get out of jail card here for UQ. Inside the 7, Bryce picks it up. Looping ball at the back. Malla takes it off the intercept.
Needed that. And it's one of those things as well. You take that in the middle there. Yes, it is on 5th and last, but you take it, you run, you score. It's just unfortunate that it just didn't stick in the hand as Country Club now get a fresh set with an extra 10 metres.
Trying to get the Colts towards the halfway line. Sawtell picks up good meters. Fields has to come back at it to make the touch. Back midfield. Larkin and Tunks. Here's Elam. Dancing around. They hold off her. Sawtell, early ball. Elam straightens up. Nice ball out in front. Murphy comes across to make the touch. They're still throwing questions here, the Colts. They just can't get the points on the board. The Rebels again under pressure. My does a good job to get that ball away, but Tiani just snatching at it. Probably had a little bit of a look at the defensive line, knowing that there was pressure. Larkin throws early ball. Unfortunate out in front of Harris. It was the right play. There was absolutely nobody at home there for the Rebels. And it might have just caught Georgia Harris by surprise. We take a look at the replay.
Well, the seas parted out there, didn't they?
Yeah,
there was
nobody at home.
It's unfortunate it didn't go to hands. It's been nearly the story for the Colts for this second half here.
Yeah, it's just not sticking for them. Unfortunately, in the second 20, they really need them to start sticking. Just over 8 minutes to go. They put it out. Nice footwork back on the inside, forcing the pass. They've still got ball in hand here, the Rebels. They've almost created the numbers. Rasmussen out in front. Wow. How did they score that try? It looked like it was dead and buried. Over on the right-hand side of the field, all of a sudden they just squeeze pass after pass. Before you know it, there's numbers and space out here on the left. Have a look at this.
Everywhere you look up, there just seemed to be a UQ shirt. There's no giving up on the play. Good hands.
Looks like it's done here.
Yep.
That ball just gets away out in front. And at this point, it was danger signs. Tony Rasmussen, nice ball as well. Early out in front, knowing that there was space. Unmarked.
Good finish.
Over in the corner. That might be the final dagger. Caitlin Blade scoring the try for the Rebels. So we take a look at one final replay of this try. Lovely final pass. And it's been quite the performance here in the second half for the Rebels. They've got unanswered.
Yeah. 4
tries for the Colts. It's taking them a little stretch. But they finally get across. Catherine Sargent, one of their leaders, gets it done.
when you're in trouble, you turn to your leaders, and they always provide something. They find a way, and that's a very, very, very good try there on that sweep. And it was always going to happen. They were always going to find one. It was just a matter of time. And now they've managed to find one with nine minutes to go. A lot happens in 9 minutes.
Yeah, stranger things have happened in a game of footy, that's for sure. And then we saw, and Larkin now just a little bit too much. They're definitely more up in this second half than what they were in the first, but we saw there was a period where it was Rebels in the first half, and the Colts did a good job to get themselves back into the game. But they definitely have more points to try and chase down here in the second half than what they did in the first. They've got to hold out defensively. You almost feel like they can't let the Rebels score any more times here in the second 20.
That's right, yeah. There's not much longer to go, and go.
Oh, open space here for Malla. They're coming at her, but she's starting to kick away a little bit. Nice recovery. Oh, full stretch,
Wheels.
great ball. Trenery. Oh, they're going to come back, which is going to be a touch and pass. Wow. That was really, really close. Let's have a look at the replay. She's pretty quick, Katie Malla. There's a nice chase from Caitlin Blade. Oh, yeah.
God, that could have gone either way.
A half a second either way, if that ball gets thrown just a half a second before they're off.
Yep.
Again, it's just those little opportunities. And the Colts just haven't got the rub of the green tonight. Oh, it almost falls in the hands of Costello.
God, what's all happened in the last 5 minutes, hasn't it?
It's all happening.
It's a lot going on.
Yeah, we are in the final 5. Colts down by 4. Might be a bridge too far for them now. Out in front, Ellum has to come back to the mark. Nice touch from Blade. Izell from half. Good to see her back out there. We saw her hit the deck a little bit earlier here in the second half with a shoulder injury. Nice little ball back on the inside to Sargent. Ball hits the deck. So Rebels looking to manage from here. Sloppy on the first couple of touches. Better ball work. Good defensive pressure from the Colts. Again, last touch. They've held them to their own half. There's Ashurst only just getting over the halfway line. Good set in defence there from the Colts. Zell links up with Harris. Adams from half. Zellman makes her way back out onto the field. Trenery goes down the short side, back infield to Larkin. They held off defensively. Nice job from the Rebels out in front of the fingertips there of Ellen. It just hasn't been their night in the second half here, ball in hand.
Unfortunately not. Yeah, it's a tale of two halves at the moment. They look the goods in the first half, and it's one of those things that just goes either way, and unfortunately it just hasn't gone Country Club's way in that second half.
Nice little kick out here from Beck Mai. Picks up good meters. Gold Coast and Country Club Colts to follow in the men's. As Files picks up and goes from half. Ball in one hand. Trenery does a good job to come back across and cover. Referee's having a little chat, and they're going to point to the spot. Courtney just couldn't quite get there in time. Looked like there was contact made. Ball's down before the touch, and this Rebels juggernaut here in the second half rolls on.
Just rolling away with it now, I think. It's just a little bit of tiredness maybe coming into it. It's, only 2 minutes to go, and, well, I thought she made the touch, but
may have even just possibly made the contact before ball in hand. It's the only thing you could possibly think of.
Probably it, yeah, but I think it's damage control now for the UQ Rebels. I think they know they've got this one in the bag. I think it's just trying to minimise as much as they can.
Definitely be happy with their second half performance. Obviously the tries that they've scored, but only leaking in one try from the Colts. They might be under threat now. Touch is made, they get sent back. Sargent straight back to her feet, plays the ball.
Sweep.
Tunks plays. Sargent again, that familiar play. It's almost like a carbon copy of a previous try. Off the sweep, off the left foot, straight through the Rebels defence.
It virtually was a carbon copy of about 3-4 minutes ago, and has done the exact same thing, scored on the exact same blade of grass. Well, with just a little bit too much time gone on the clock, unfortunately, but good signs in the last 5 minutes at least.
Yeah, they'll always fight to the final whistle, Country Club. It's just gotten away from them here in the second half, and unfortunately, that might mean their season getting away from them as well. They just haven't been able to recover this year at the Metro Cup, and it's a bit of a slow start for them. And there's been plenty of games where they've just been up to their eyeballs in the game. There's been moments that have gotten away from them, and at the end of the day, unfortunately, it's hurt their season.
And that's the thing, we talk about momentum, and I think as soon as they come out from the first half there to start the second, UQ had all the momentum there, and it was just couldn't really keep up from the Country Club side of things, unfortunately. But and that's a perfect example of it there. I think with 40 seconds to go, it's, as we said, it's damage control now.
So this could be the final set here for the Rebels. Can they finish it off in style? Just over 30 seconds to go. They'll look to manage the clock, which pretty much guarantees them a grand final spot. And defending premiers looking for another title. Southern Storm and Brothers still in contention. The Storm, like we said, they knocked off the Rebels in their last fixture. So this young, exciting team from the Southern Storm will be keeping an eager eye on tonight's match. Hooter sounds in the background. Nice ball for Ellen. Malla sees a little bit of space down the right-hand side. Hammond comes across to make the touch and close this game out. The Rebels far too good in the second half. Just those early tries that they got on the board. Colts, they couldn't quite recover.
It's a tale of two halves, I think, Scotty. They really good first half both ways, and I think it's, as we were saying, it's that start of that second half that really showed the difference there, with the final result being 8-4. UQ just sort of walked away with it at the end, and unfortunately, if these things happen, when a couple of things don't go your way or you miss half chances, it adds up, and unfortunately, it added up to about 4 tries less than it should have.
Yeah, so the wins roll on here for the UQ Rebels. Big match coming up in the Men's Premier. Gold Coast taking on the Country Club Colts. First versus third on the ladder. Quick break here from the Metro Cup. Men's Premier action coming up.
This grass looks smart, and it's tough enough to handle whatever you throw at it, so it stays looking smart. Tip-Tough Hybrid Bermuda, the smart grass.
When I wanna cry in a world gone mad.
Welcome back, men's premier action, not too far from kicking off here. And you can see the live ladder coming into round 9. The Country Club Colts, who will be calling tonight, currently sit on top of the ladder. 5 wins, 2 losses to their name. The Rebels in second position. And Gold Coast, who will be the Country Club's opponents tonight, in third position. 3 wins, 4 losses. Important match for both teams coming into this game. A win for the Gold Coast could potentially move them to second place tonight if they beat the Colts. And for the Colts, they're just looking to hold on to that number 1 spot. Of course, first progresses straight through to the grand final after the regular fixtures. 2v3 in the semi-final to see who takes on first in the Metro Cup grand final. Our team list for tonight, Country Club. Couple of outs for them tonight, Kai.
There is a few, yeah, as we mentioned earlier. All the Moffats are in Japan at the moment, but Country Club are currently fielding one of the strongest sides I think I've seen them field in a very long time. Expect a very, very bold showing tonight.
A big match here, round 9. Country Club opening possession for them. On top of the table at the moment. Can they hold on? Oh, ball, nice little anchoring pass over the top, but it's just behind Jaden Mbichi. Misdirected pass as Norman puts it through the hands. Out in front of Leinberg. Groth from half. They've got some big guns back in the team tonight, the Gold Coast. Probably one of their strongest lineups of the year. Tika picks up early ball out in front. And nothing Tyler Wood could have done about that to reel that one in. Bit of end-to-end footy for the both opening 2 sets of the game. Well,
it's a hot start, isn't it? You go end-to-end one, and then you come back in with what's going to be a very, very big defensive set from the Gold Coast.
Yeah, big in for the Coast tonight. Jaden Love coming in for his second match of the season. Former Australian Men's Open representative. You see Jaden, here he is coming up to make the touch now. In the 17 for the Coast, a little bit exposed out on that side of the field. Jordan Dart gets across. They say touch. Almost got there. Had to get the skates on there, Jaden Love, and he did. He's lightning quick. Eventually gets over there to make the diving touch. Coast now from the restart. They're on the right side of the field to get some replacement players out onto the park. Chung plays it just over the halfway line. Norman shows it. There's Darnell, little switch back on the inside. Chung, nice bat on. Oh, Lamberg trying to double down on that one. Couldn't get hands on it. Looking to link up with Frost out here on the left-hand side of the field.
Very good footy so far, as we said before, end to end. There's minimal mistakes, and it's just very clean and it's very good to watch from up here, let's be honest.
Well, the Colts sit on top of the table as we'll just wait to see how the back end of this set plays out. Matters goes to Carmody, comes back to Matters. Just couldn't pick that one up cleanly. Yeah, Colts sitting on top of the table, but the last time that these two teams came up against each other was the Coast that got the victory, 6 tries to 3. In the earlier rounds, though, Colts got the job done 8-5, so at 1-1 in the early rounds. You can take the advantage after tonight's match. Skinner skips across, comes back infield to Ward. As Groth picks it up, nice flat ball at the line, short ball off the hip there to Ward. And just seeing whether a touch has been made. I don't think anybody's made contact here. Yeah, Jaden Lovey popped up, he was looking around, he was like a meerkat there, having a look to see if the referees are confirming there was any contact made in the touch. There wasn't anything. Yami crawls his way over for the first try of the game.
Little air swing there from the wing there, right there, and then, yeah, looked like a little air swing. Double movement, but
play on.
It's play on, isn't it? It's a very, very good start for the Gold Coast, 1-0 up. It's we want to try and hold on to that for the next few minutes.
So Jaden Love scores the try for the Coast. He said his first game back for a while. Automatically straight away having an impact here for the Gold Coast. Colts now stepping in. Beautiful ball out in front of Verenkamp. Referees don't move an inch. That was an absolute ripper and a perfect way to hit back to level up.
Well, it was shot out of a cannon, wasn't it? That was as straight as you can get. One of the fastest balls you'll see thrown here, and it's, well, right on the chest. You can't ask for much better than that.
Alex Condon sending that one across. Lovely pill. And we're at ones. It's been a strong start from both teams in this game. Lamberg. Charlton goes from half. It's a little deflection there off Lennox Tika. Here's Jordan Dart. It's good contact from Jai. Verenkamp, the try scorer. As Adams tries to skip on the outside of Charlton. Carmody comes out of the box. Oh, good hands there from Hennessy. They do earn themselves the penalty.
It's exactly what they needed coming into there. It's a very stiff roll the ball, and, well, Hennessy had magic hands to catch it, but they get a repeat set here.
Here's Dylan, who plays it, steps in field, has a look at the defensive line, just throws a floating ball over the top. Not a bad option. And the touch is still to come. Matters plays it, Carmody. It's Adams who gets caught in possession. This is Sam Carmody now. There's Dylan, and again, steps in field. This time goes long, picks off the wrong player. Phillips takes it cleanly. Lucky there was some players around there from the Colts. Phillips gets clean air, he's gone. Here he is feeding it from half. Chung comes out of the box. Norman does the same, switches in Groth. Here's the pace in this game is electric so far. Norman plays it. As Ward picks up, has a look up, floats it over the top, and just having a little snatch at the ball there. It's Hooper.
The old Cardinal sin, go for the intercept on the last one there. As you say before in the last game, he picks it, he goes the length, but it's a bit unfortunate.
It was hard not to, though, to have a snatch at it. It was there to be taken. It almost fell in Hoops' lap.
Yeah.
Well, they're tough ones to take against the grain. You're probably in two minds to almost start running away with the pill. As Ward comes in early. Gets sent back. Zoe Genrick. We've got our three referees from our women's match doubling down here. Lockie Freshwater and Jordan Randall. Assisting Zoe, who's on field at the moment. Ward, he goes looping over the top. Oh, Phillips. Almost squeezing away. Hooper getting the job done. Experienced player out there on the flanks for Hoops. Haven't seen him play too many wing games over the years. He's usually in the midfield, making his way up after there's a couple of players out for the Colts tonight. As we see the footy bobble around. Randall is going to give a penalty here to the Colts.
Right call. That was the right call, that one. There was a lot of foot around that play of the ball, and at the end of the day, I think the right decision was made there.
Here's Condon. He's made his way back from an injury. Missed the early part of the season out. And here we go. I got him on ice. Beautiful play from Country Club. They overread that one, the Gold Coast. They summed it up perfectly. What a try there for the Colts.
Just looked easy, didn't it? As you run that play 1,000 times, and I think it's just the overread there from the. A bit unfortunate. He's fallen in dirt, but it's another very, very easy try, and Colts go 2-1 up.
Darnell gets us restarted here from the coast. Beautiful ball. Charlton, you cannot give him any open space. Oh, went to sleep. Country Club after scoring down the other end. And it just, it was simple ball work back on the inside, but Jai Charlton, you give him just that little inch, he'll take it.
I'm not actually sure what happened there. Yeah, Link just got caught in no man's land, I think, a little bit there. And the gap opened up, and it was, well, you give an inch, you take a mile.
So locked up at 2 tries apiece. Gold Coast against the grain, not much doing after Colts. A little momentary lapse in defence for them. GC make them pay. Dylan skipping around, and Dart couldn't pick it up cleanly. He was actually, not playing the ball square. Lamberg on the first touch. As Gold Coast put it through the hands. Norman from half. Chung out of the interchange area, strong in that position of the field. Oh, Love, he That was Antika. He was trying to go from half. He came out like a bull out of the gates there. Just took a little bit of a bobble. Verenkamp again, ball rolling around. Lucky to hold on to the footy here, the Colts. Adams, some going forward. Good contact from Ward. Matters. And picking up the pace now. Country Club count, and he goes short ball. They loop it over the top to Hooper. It's just come out of the hands forward. That was unfortunate. Wow. What an electric back end of the set.
What going on there, wasn't there?
The pace there, just on that back end coming into the final touches of the set as we see Country Club give a penalty away.
Yeah, it's got to go both ways there. They had one in the first half, so very, very easy call to make there. Bit hard to believe. It doesn't feel like 10 minutes have gone in this first half, but it has. It's been that quick.
I think the next 10 will follow suit. The way this game has been going so far. The score's locked up here at 2 tries apiece. Charlton links up with Norman. Groth on the sweep, comes back to Jai.
Well read.
Condon makes the touch. Groth, you don't want to hold off him here. Oh, switching in Norman around the back. Carmody was there. And coming up out of the line to make the touch if required. Wilson, very dangerous, particularly on a 5th play where it looks like it's dead. Not much doing. All of a sudden you can create something. Now, interesting to see what the call was. It was like a tug of the back of the shoulder. Yeah. A bit of contact there from Country Club. There wasn't any disputes with the call. Here's Wilson.
Must mean it's obviously fair enough then.
Fair enough. I don't think they see that too often. Even if it's blatant, most of the time the players will still argue the point. Kingston, oh, contact. Must have just got his body over the ball. Norman, he steps in, goes short, almost skipping in. I think everyone was thinking it was going to go long there.
And an extra 10.
A couple of words to say.
Pleading his case for no avail.
And now that's probably one out of frustration from the Gold Coast.
All right, watch this game go up a notch now. It's going to turn up to about 11.
Yeah, I had a feeling Pete might have said a couple of words because all of a sudden he was heading straight over to the interchange box. So it was a little snipe on his way out. I think he already knows he might be having a bit of a breather.
Since that little incident happened there, this Country Club Colts box has gone up about 4 notches in volume.
They can't let little frustrating occurrences. Yeah. Well, I was actually going to say it on the other side here for the Gold Coast. They need to keep a cool head because they're up to their necks in this game. They'll keep calm and composed. There won't be too much that'll derail them. Not at this point in the game.
Be a grind for the next 8 minutes, I think.
Here's Tika. Tries to skip away. Bartz makes a touch.
Very long levers to get away from those are.
And the old bull on the young bull there. Here's Dylan. Glacken gets meters. As Adams does the same. Ooh, Matters has a couple of grabs at it. Does a good job to hold on to the footy. As Condon picks it up, shows it, goes, gets into the in-goal area. Hat's gone flying. Oh, he tries to pop Matters out the back.
It's a great exit set there to get out and finish it in their corner. Need another big defensive set here coming into what is probably the last 7 minutes of this half. It could go either way at the moment.
He's Alex Condon. He's looking impressive early in this game. Here he is. He comes up and makes the touch. He sliced the coast up a couple of times. Charlton, he's done the same. We've seen him score a try already for the Gold Coast, one of their 2. Nice little extra ball off the hip there to Verenkamp. Just gets them back on the front foot because they were looking a little bit shaky there on the early touches. Sent, kicks away from one.
But don't give him room.
Gives an opportunity to link back up with Dart on the infield. And Beachy plays it, gets 2 Gold Coast defenders attracted. They still got ball in hand. Jaden out.
No one there.
Has to put some footwork on. Last touch.
Uh-oh.
Hennessy rockets one to Jordan Dart. Nice touch from Phillips. Why plays the footy. Wilson goes forward on the first. So replacement players come on and try to the Gold Coast out of trouble. No Kaiatika tonight for the Coast. As we see Norman out in front. Now back on the inside. Lamberg, a little bit of space. Good recovery from Mbichi. And they put the ball through the hands out to Camp back infield. Mbichi forward. Dart will follow suit. Here's Glacken steaming onto the ball. Looking to get a clean play. The ball does, but over the top. A tough one. Had to stretch out for it.
It's another good finish, though, from Country Club. Always finishing it in the corner and giving themselves the best chance to get a good defensive stop here.
Nice ball movement, though, on the opening touches for the Gold Coast. There's an opportunity to switch out the back as Love plays it. Skinner. And one final touch here to set up as Ward. Love's left to right. Goes early ball to Love, who has to put the brakes on. They try to flick it over the top. And just falling apart from on the back end of the set. And there, as we see Skinner jumping through the ruck. Just puts his hand up as he got his body out of position on that one.
Big set, this one here. They need to finish down in this corner. Finish with a try, ideally. Just put a bit of pressure on the Gold Coast coming into the back end of this half.
Here's Carmody, who's fighting Condon for the footy. And Sam, who gets it. Skipping away. Feet going at 100 miles an hour.
Need to find Hennessy.
They do that now as he has an opportunity to pick up and run. Gets into the in-goal area. Sends it back over to the top. Matters, what a take that was. We still haven't seen the try awarded. We've got a Gold Coast player down in the end. Jordan Randall does point to the spot. This is a quality try here for the Colts.
Yeah. Very dangerous player to defend. Dylan Hennessy always has been, and it just has a knack to find people out of the corner of his eye, and that's just a perfect example of it there.
It's a tough ball to take as well from young Caleb Matters. You can see him popping away from Love. His body's going backwards. He needs to catch the ball and still go forward to get it across the line. Quality try. And it gets him in front, 3-2. Charlton. He gets held up. Last touch. They don't want to hold off them here, the Colts. As Groth, right foot, they do concede the set.
Big set this as well. Not long to go, 3 minutes to go. The Colts will look to go from one end to the other. Put another quick one on them here.
Here's Dylan back out onto the field. Under 3 minutes to go now before the halftime break. Sen gets a good play, the ball down, and Beachy rocks it over the Camp just when you think it's going to end up in the grandstand.
How has he caught that?
He sets the big jukes up there. Well, he's 10 foot tall. That's how he caught it.
Yeah. Oven mitts for hands.
Pretty impressive. Caught it with one hand as well and tried to flick it back on the inside.
But once again, they've finished the ball in the corner. It gives them a lot harder chance to get off in 3 touches and then get somewhere near their line. And they're at 5th touch now in the 10, and they're nearly halfway at the field.
Yeah, you feel like there's just been a little bit of swing in the favour here of the Colts. It's reflected in the scoreline, but they've had the better of the attacking position on the field over the last few sets. Here's Camp, just takes a settler going forward. Condon, who's been great for the Colts, as is this man, as expected. Sends it out to Hooper, who tried to send the ball back on the inside.
Every time he's gone that way, it's just looked dangerous. There hasn't been many times that I've seen so far in this half where they've gone to the left and they haven't looked like scoring. And it's very good signs coming into the second half as well that Country Club are on top of their main game.
And Skinner. Charlton back to Love. Try short ball. Jaden Love opens up for him. Oh, they make the touch this time around. He's asking the question, Jaden. And Beachy makes the touch, but again, it was almost similar to how Charlton slipped through last time. Just some space available for them in the middle of the field.
One. That's 3 now, Scotty, that's happened. And right there too. So errors that you don't want, unfortunately, when you're defending.
Here's Mbechi switching Adams around the back. Blacken onto the field.
2 to go.
He'll steady the ship ball. Bart's was looking to pop out. Lucky the touch wasn't made. Blacken was looking to go down. Bart's short ball. Oh, yeah, Lamberg makes the touch. Now on the flip side, Blacken just asking the question.
A few questions being asked tonight, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a few. Couple of half opportunities for both teams on the last couple of sets attacking the line.
That's a very good call.
Just that half a little step over, wasn't it? It's like he wanted to stop and come back, but just couldn't put the brakes on. You get caught in 2 minds. You know you got to go back, but all of a sudden the body's in the position to play the footy. They're pretty vocal here, the Colts. They know the Hooters about to sound in the background, and it is. Bart's just got the footy caught in the turf there and just couldn't get that sliding motion across the line.
I tell you what, if you can see now the difference between the Gold Coast at the moment, the Gold Coast body language and the Country Club Colts body language, it tells a big story for such a score that is very close.
And you can see Wilson was there to make the touch regardless. What an entertaining first 20 minutes. The speed of the game is unbelievable between these two teams. There's a bit on the line in this game. The Colts go into the halftime break. They're up by 1. In this round 9 match, Country Club 3 over the Gold Coast 2.
This grass looks smart, and it's tough enough to handle whatever you throw at it, so it stays looking smart. Tip Tough Hybrid Bermuda, the smart grass.
Both teams making their way back out for the second half here in this men's premier fixture between the Country Club Colts and the Gold Coast. Slight advantage going into the halftime break to the Colts, up 3-2 going into the halftime break. And of course, the best way to stay up to date with all the Metro Cup information is on Brisbane Metro Touch's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok accounts. Make sure you search BMTA and stay up to date with all the relevant information. We're coming towards the back end of the season now. Second last round. We'll have our last round of fixtures next week. Live on KO Sports and Sky Sports Next. We'll have the Rebels taking on the Gold Coast, our opening match at 7:15 here local time. And that'll be followed by the Women's Premier. It's a UQ double. The Rebels will be taking on Brothers. That match to follow. Round 10, final round of the Metro Cup. Before we head into the finals the following week, the teams that finish in first, they get an automatic qualification through to the grand final. And Country Club Colts with a win, that might just be enough to secure them a grand final spot. And of course, the UQ Rebels and the Southern Storm, they're playing tonight as well. Rebels have made their way up into second position. They're starting to make a late season run. And Gold Coast, this is an important fixture for them. They win tonight, they might be able to work their way into second position. Depending on how our other match tonight takes place, big second half here for both teams. Gold Coast had some real positive signs there in the first half, only down by one going into the break. Norman, beautiful ball out to the corner. And Felicie Frost, no touch has been made. Well, you cannot start in the second half in better fashion than that. Have a look at this on the replay from the Gold Coast. What a ball from Norman. Little wraparound play with Tika. Holds it up at the line and puts the ball on a platter. Had some work to do there. Frost was just a little bit behind him. As you can see here on the replay, managed just to get it in his hands and get the ball down for a beautiful angle of that ball from Peter Norman. And Gold Coast start perfectly. And as we return back to live action, and the Gold Coast come down the other end, or the Country Club Colts, I should say, and they hit them straight back and they go back up in front. Wow, electric start. We almost missed that one. How quickly it happened. Country Club, Hennessy, just skipping everybody out over the top. Those players stretching to try and get their hands on the footy, left, right and centre. They couldn't get it done. So the Colts respond nicely after Gold Coast come out of the gates strongly. As Ward has to put the brakes on. Let's look at the defensive line. Here is again Tyler. Goes short ball this time to Charlton. Fifth and final touch. Good defence in the middle. It matters. And coming up and making the touch. Adams was there to assist. His Loves turns a beautiful ball out the back. They just run out of room in the end. Country Club restart on their 7-metre line. They're on Gold Coast side of the field. They let the ball do the work early on. Good meters on the first touch as well as Varenkamp comes down the left-hand side. He dishes from half. Carmody follows suit. Great start here to this set from Country Club. Glacken back in field. Bartz plays it. Last touch. Hennessy rips long. Oh, wow. Referees coming together and they go all clear. What a set that was from the Colts and what a finish. Nick Varenkamp in the corner. And have a look at the replay here. There's Bartz. This ball from Hennessy yet again. There wasn't much room to work with. Just getting on the outside shoulder. Gets the ball down just in the nick of time. Nick Varenkamp, what a finish. What a ball from Hennessy again. As always, putting them on a platter tonight. Could not have gone 1 centimetre further with that pass. Absolutely on the money. Gold Coast attacking the line and they've hit back as well. Well, what a start here in the second half. Both teams just lighting it up on the scoreboard. And Teak is so dangerous in this position. Look how quickly he gets down on the deck and gets in between two Colts defenders. Norman getting his hands on the footy. a lot here in the second half. You can see him in the background pointing to the spot, just letting the refs know that was down. They make the right call. Another try and a good response from the Coast. Continuing to hang on in this game, and Beachy now trying to get on the outside. Wood and does make the touch. Jaden comes back to play it. Condon wants the football. Steps back, goes back to Jaden Beachy. Verencamp pops it back on the inside, fingertips there from Sen, who has to stop. And they come up and make the touch. Oh, again, electric football from both teams. They will come back in field. It would have been a loose forward pass, potentially. The Country Club throwing their hands, throwing the footy around. It's entertaining stuff from both these two teams. Skinner gets them going forward. Tika out of the box. And try scorer for the Gold Coast, Charlton. Heads it out the back. It's had players in motion going in different directions there for the Coast. Here's Condon on the first. And Beachy gets him over the halfway line. Carmody. Hennessy plays it. Matters from half. Comes off the right foot. Short ball. They got the numbers. Oh, Carmody flicks it out the back to Verencamp. Well, they're on fire, the Colts. They can do no wrong at the moment. Another try to Nick Verencamp. And the flick ball out the back. And this is Harlem Globetrotters stuff here from the Colts. Look at this. Carmody, no look. Thanks for coming. Oh, now hang on a second. Hang on a second. They have made their way back downfield. I don't know if they've got a little sneaky replay box down there on the sideline, the referees, but we've heard a forward pass. And Mike Phillips, who was the winger defending on this side, he did not move. Since that ball was thrown, he was adamant that that was a forward pass. He must be in pled his case pretty well. Might have a future career as a lawyer or something. Mike Phillips, he's somehow convinced the referees to overturn that decision. Might have even been a call from the far side of the field. They do say that final flick pass is forward. So the scoreboard remains 5-4. Still in favour of the Colts. That would have put them up by 2. Blacken back in field to Bartz. Hennessy picks it up beautifully from half. Throws the dummy, goes back to Glacken. And they can't take this one away from them. Oh, take a breath. What about this? Have a look at this pick up here from Dillon. Scoops it with right hand, shows a little dummy, threads through, gets away from the diving Pete Norman. And the support back on the inside before Groth could get across. Well, they couldn't take the last entertaining try away from, well, they tried to, the forward pass. They did take away, and they couldn't take that one away. Country Club turning it on in the second half at the Coast. They've got more points in them, you just know it. Diving into the line is Lamberg. Glacken has picked up a little bit of a knock. He hits back to his haunches. Kingston coming up to check and make sure he's okay. Might have got a little accidental knock around the chops. Joshy Glacken is out the back. Play continues. Charlton TK out the back. Just didn't get it out of the hands cleanly. Both teams might just take this opportunity to have a quick breather. It's been a fast start here in the second half. Wow, 8 minutes has already gone. Here's Kalis Brown coming off the back of a successful National Youth Championships for the Queensland Secondary Schools team a couple of weekends ago. Hennessy now picks up and goes from half, links back up with Adams as they put the ball through the hands. Send ball out in one hand. Almost looked to pop Hooper over the top. Could probably sense it. Sean was coming back on the inside, decided to hold it. Smart football there from David Sen. A couple of their experienced players for the Colts. And here's Ward. Jaden Love switching in Norman. Tyler Wood, flat and hard to Groth. He throws the dummy. Comes back on the inside, just losing possession. The Colts get straight back onto the football and players. Groth looks for the over the mark. Dart out of the box. Matters. Carmody juggles. Manages to maintain possession. Carmody. Nice work there from Love. Just holding up Sam. Looping ball. Oh, Wilson does a great job to be able to reel that one in. Pulls it in one hand. Matters is coming at him. Hooper's coming at him as well. Does he skip away? Hooper comes across to make the touch. Showed a clean pair of heels there. Shawnee Hooper coming across from the right wing position. Nice work from Wilson. It was a 0 touch from the intercept as well. Gets his team in good position, and Tika gets caught in half. Well, it just fell apart. They were making a couple of changes there at the same time for the Ghosts. I think Lennox might have had a look up at the left-hand side, saw that there was no one at home, and just got isolated. Opportunity missed from the Coast. And Beachy out of the box. Bart's clean to Hennessy. We've seen that a few times here. Beautiful ball. Kalis Brown sums it up perfectly, and Verenkamp goes across. Didn't have as much work to do this time around to get the points. All he has to do is catch and get it straight across the stripe. And Tim Butts to Hennessy has been the play. As you can see, Mbechi linking up. It's just clean play the ball every time. Sets a perfect platform up for Dylan. Nice work from Kalis Brown, the young man, to sum it up. And Verenkamp scores the try. Starting to stretch away a little bit now, the Colts. And back to live play. Gold Coast off the hands of Tyler Ward. Gives possession back to Country Club. 7-4. Plus a try that's been taken away from them. And come out of the halftime break, all guns blazing. A bit isolated here in this set. This is the 5th and final touch. Matters picks up. Sees a little bit of space down the short side. Adams pops in Verenkamp again. They just managed to get themselves another sort of 6-7 metres there. More valuable as they were under the pump in that set. Gold Coast got to capitalise. Norman back out onto the field. As Chung straightens them up. Last touch, Ward switches in Norman. Sends it ball out, Verenkamp picks it off. Just didn't get all of that, Pete. And they will say it was forward. Here's Dart. Back out on the field. It's good to see after taking a knock not too long ago. Hennessy out the back. This time he doesn't hit. Norman grits the teeth on the first. We're looking and starting to show a couple of signs of fatigue here, Gold Coast. And try to go punch for punch with Country Club. And a little bit light on troops as well. The GC, only the 4 substitutions on the other side of the field. They might have a couple more, but they're just down on the deck at the moment. Really sucking in the big ones. And Colts smell blood in the water. As Carmody comes back out. Dancing around. They come up and make the touch on him now. As Hennessy skips away, tries to flick it back on the inside. Positive signs as the Gold Coast gets straight back onto the football. And Love just goes straight and hard on the first. Switches Groth, who was making his way back out onto the field. As Tyler Wood rolls forward. Skinner now plays it, 5th and final. Ward has a look up, plays out the back to Groth, who skips and almost slices his way through the defence. Good recovery, Blacker making the touch. Hennessy feeds it to Verenkamp. Adams onto the field. And Beachy takes a little juggle. Skinner makes a touch. They have to go back to the mark. This takes the sting out there as Condon rifles one across. Back and forth battle between the two teams over the last few sets. The Colts still up by 3. Gold Coast, nice little pop out. It does take a deflection there off David Sen. Full set of 6 for the Coast. I feel like they might need to score in this set of 6. Tika gets it back from Norman, who attacks the line. I think the ball's down before the cover defence comes across. Tika, that's his second try of the second half. So dangerous in this position on the field. It's early ball from Norman. And just slipping in underneath. This angle will show it. It's pretty close. You can see David Sen. Yeah, he comes across, claims the touch, but he's a foot short of the line. Great refereeing yet again from our officials. And the Gold Coast, they're still in this game. That reduces the margin back down. And 2 tries. This is a big defensive set. They can't go try for try with the Colts. Bartz feeds it. Hennessy looping left to right. Nice little ball back on the inside from Hooper. Good support as well from Glacken. Bartz comes up out of the line. Gets good contact there on the final touch. Turns the ball back to the Coast. So a little tick in the box there from the men in the blue and the gold. They got to go downfield. Good meters from Chung. Last touch for them now. Not much doing. Skinner turns the ball back over. Country Club straight back onto the footy. Kalis comes across field. Glacken on the halfway line. Matters back in field to Carmody. Dancing them around. They hold off him, and Caleb slipping in. Still a touch to come. Condon dancing around here at the moment, the Colts. Hennessy and Condon, they're trying to get a penalty. Yeah, Gold Coast not moving forward to make the touch. It was deep in the set as well. Give the penalty away and gift Country Club another full set of 6 to work with. This is a huge defensive set here for the Coast. 3.5 to go. And down by 2. They feel like they need to hold out defensively. They can't leak any more points if there are any chance of getting into this game. Hennessy plays it. Condon holds it up at the line. Carmody coming across. Big touch from Phillips. Matters plays it. Carmody was sweeping. Condon gets himself into the in-goal area. Holds it up. I think they come across and make the touch. And Skinner comes across. Nice recovery as Condon sliced through the Gold Coast defence yet again. They held their nerve there, the Coast. Taylor Skinner coming across and making the touch on Condon as he threw the ball. There's a little bobble in the play. The ball has come off one of the Colts players, a little foot in the ruck. So Gold Coast get a little gift that will help march them downfield. 2.5 to go. Norman goes straight and hard at the line. They got all their numbers on the left and out in front. And Charlton and off the fingertips. You can't capitalise. Clock's starting to wind down. Now we see the ball bobble. Which way is this going to go? Referees are just going to take a quick moment. I'm feeling it might go in favour of the Colts. Still confirming penalty. Country Club. Took a couple of seconds off the clock there as well as the referees were confirming the decision. Colts will roll themselves downfield. Davidson Now straightens them up again. Gold Coast happy just to hold off defensively. Someone needs to come up to make the touch. Norman does that now. Gets his body in position. Hennessy sends a beautiful ball to Caleb Matters. And that will be the icing on the cake here for the Colts. You can see Dylan has just been untouchable tonight. Great line as well from Caleb. And the Colts, the ladder leading Country Club Colts, will hold on to the top spot. And the Coast, it's going to come down to the last round of the competition for them to secure a final spot. We'll have to wait and see what the result is of the Rebels and Storm. They'll be playing later on this evening. They can't get the final play away before the hooter sounds. Jordan Randall signals full time in this game. And the Country Club Colts get the victory. And they had to work for it, but wow, what a second half it was and what a game it was in general between these two teams. But it was the start there in the second 20 minutes that proved the difference between the two. Gold Coast, they tried to go punch for punch but couldn't claw themselves back into the game. Country Club get the victory. This all-important fixture in the second last round of the Metro Cup. We have our last round of fixtures next Friday night. All important as teams fight to get their finals positions. As mentioned, from 7:15 live here on KO Sports and Sky Sports Next, we'll have men's Premier action, UQ Rebels taking on the Gold Coast. That'll be followed in the women's Premier by the Rebels and Brothers. We hope you enjoyed the coverage tonight. Thanks for tuning in. Until next week, final round of the Metro Cup. It's a very good night from here.
This grass looks smart, and it's tough enough to handle whatever you throw at it, so it stays looking smart. Tip Tough Hybrid Bermuda, the smart grass.
Pick you up.